Morning, Raptorfreak. Alexiot's here. Friday morning, TGIF, baby. Yeah, and the Raptors are still on their West Coast road trip. The third game of 6 against the Phoenix Suns tonight, the number one team in the NBA, the only team in the NBA that's already clinched a playoff spot for this year. The Suns are rolling. In the last month, the Suns had Chris Paul go out with his thumb injury, and since the All-Star break, really. And Devin Booker got COVID, and he was out for a while too. So now Booker is back, and he's come back and played a few games now, and he seems like he's fine. And Paul is still out, but that is a big difference between the last time we played them. There's some people that are going to be at this game tonight that weren't there at the last game, and there's some people that aren't going to be there tonight that were at the last game. And Chris Paul is probably the biggest name on that list as far as people that will not be at this game tonight that were in the game last time. If you remember, that game in Toronto when we played Phoenix was pretty close. We played them real tight and messed them up for a little while there. We were actually beating them in the first half of that game, and we kept it close. We did look like we belong with them. They happen to be one of these teams that we match up really well with. Even though they're so dominant and beating everybody, I feel really good about tonight for some weird reason. I don't know why. Criscom's here. Good morning. We owe him. Raps by 4. There's a great Criscom's prediction for this morning. 4-point victory for the Raptors tonight. That's what he's seeing in his crystal ball. And I love it, Criscom. That sounds good to me. You know, the other thing I want to talk about the last time we played them, we didn't have two of our players that we're going to have tonight. We did not have Scotty Barnes in the game against Phoenix the last time we played them. That's right, y'all. Scotty did not play against them. And the other person who was missing the last time we played Phoenix and Toronto was Gary Trent Jr., y'all. So this is going to be a big difference, having both those guys available. It was like we did have OG at that time, which is going to be tough because we still don't have OG tonight. Our injury list is basically Malachi and OG and David Johnson. Fred is not on the list. Fred is cleared of all injuries. Obviously, the way he played against the Spurs, he looks good to go. And then on the other side, for the Suns, they've actually, you know, like Chris Paul I've been talking about just now, he's supposed to be out 6 to 8 weeks since the All-Star break, so he's out still. Cameron Johnson got hurt this week, and he will be out tonight, so we won't see Cam Johnson. And then there's two guys that have been hurt for most of the season still already. Frank Kaminsky and Dario Saric are not available for the Suns. And they're a weird team without Chris Paul in some ways, but they're still rolling. Like I said, they continue to beat really good teams like Miami and people like that with no problem. It's, you know, like they routed Miami the other night, which is insane. Like looking at their last game, Miami had all their guys and they should have been doing well, but Phoenix figured out how to rout them and keep like a 20-point lead for most of the game. And that's crazy. So really, we want to make sure they don't jump out all over us. If we can play really good defense tonight and kind of try and hold them in that way, and then anything we can work towards on the other end. Phoenix is an interesting team, and I like this challenge. I like that the Raptors are overachievers and that when we get in these kind of matchups, we seem to do super, super good. And it feels like that in the air tonight also. That's how I'm feeling about it tonight. So really, like, once again, if we're talking about keys to beating the Suns tonight, we have to match their energy. We have to be maybe the more aggressive team, the quicker to the ball team, the team that's going to be really like looks like a step faster than them tonight. If we can get out there and look like that team tonight, we'll have a good chance to win this game. And of course, it's going to be things like also the battles on the boards, the battles with turnovers, who's going to shoot better three-pointers tonight, all of these factors. If we can win these different battles in different areas of the game tonight, we will be set up for success. And I know it's not easy. And of course, everybody's going to be picking the Suns to win tonight. But that's the thing. We have an element of surprise on our side in some ways. We've been slumping, but we're actually kind of back together now that Fred's back. And you can't really go back and look at where we were last week with the Charlotte game, with the Detroit game, with the Orlando game. That's not the same team. When you have Fred VanVleet in the lineup, this is a completely different Raptor team. And we're much more we're better. We're not as idiotic. Let's put it that way. I wouldn't want to say the opposite of it. Tom Duke, good morning, freaks. Our mojo starts with our intensity on defense. This is so true. It's just kind of like what I'm saying right now. We get some turnovers on them. We get in transition. We're pests. We're getting to all the loose balls. We're scrapping with them. We're tying them up, getting jump balls. We're deflecting the ball, and they're having to bring it and put it back in. We're seeing 24 shot clock violations. Just different stuff like that. We don't want anything for them that they like to do to be easy. And obviously, there's key players on their team that we really need to look at and watch out for and try and handle. And Ayton is the first one that comes to my mind. Because, Ayton is a big dude. He can operate. And, the last time we played them, he hurt us a bit. Yeah, in Toronto. He hurt us a bit, but he wasn't as huge a factor as he could have been. I felt like Phoenix went away from him, and they maybe should have really been beating us over the head with DeAndre Ayton. But they didn't choose to do that the last time we played. He did have a good start, and he got off going pretty good. And I think he did get a double-double in that game against us, but he didn't score like crazy like he could. So we really need to kind of try and contain him. It'll be good if Khem Birch missed no time just because he lost a tooth and took a bad headbutt in the last game. It'd be real good if Khem Birch is suited up, starting and matching up with DeAndre Ayton as best as he can with his length and physicality. You're going to have to do some work tonight, Khem. Hopefully you are up for the task. And Precious, Chris, all these guys off the bench, you helped Khem out too with the physicality on DeAndre Ayton tonight. And the big thing with him is he has some range. He can shoot a little bit further out. But of course, his percentage goes down the further we keep him away. So if we can keep him away from getting any kind of position close, like Scotty did in the last game, then we will be in good shape. Now, obviously, Devin Booker is a huge problem, like if he gets going. But that's the thing. He's kind of like Gary in a way, where he can go through times where he's not as offensively sharp. And sometimes he's just kind of there and kind of being a distraction, a decoy, and helping other guys get more shots because we key on him. I hate that we don't have OG tonight because OG's the perfect kind of guy to help with Devin Booker and stuff like that. But we should be able to chase him around, run him down. We did okay against Murray the other night, and this is a similar kind of thing. We really got to contain Devin Booker, and we can't let him try and get like 40 points tonight. We can't let him just go off. If he has around 20 points at the end of the night tonight, I will be very, very happy because we don't need Devin Booker going off. That's what I'm saying. And then the other guys on the team, it's like a lot of role players and do different things. They can hurt us in different ways. I remember Crowder really hurt us in the first game because he was basically really active. He seemed like the guy, like I was describing, that was first to the ball, kind of in the right place at the right time, more aggressive, punched us in the face a bit with his type of play, the way he likes to play, whether it's him making an outside three or just kind of getting on the boards and being a pest and just down low in different ways. So hopefully we can contain their main guys and just do as best as we can. I think that if we play, like Tom's saying, the defense is the baseline. It's the thing that we start everything from. And if we can have good defense on them, somewhat containing the Suns as best as we can, and then get some easy baskets for us. Seriously, let's get some steals, Gary Trent Jr. Let's go, Fred, and hit those open threes and boom and bam, and hopefully we can get this victory tonight. Callie's here. Good morning. Hope we see tough defense tonight. Yeah, Callie wants a good stress meter tonight. Callie wants to see a Raptors victory. We want to see us beat the best team in the NBA. And this is another thing I want to talk about. Scotty, you didn't play against Phoenix the first time we played them. Let's see you come out and build on top of what you did in the third quarter against the Spurs the other night. This is the thing, Scotty. You score a 50 game or a 40 game, and you are a big reason why we win a big game. Like, seriously, if you go out there tonight and you show some of your dominance from the second half the other night, and you are a huge contributor and a huge reason why we beat the number one team in the NBA tonight, Scotty, you better get ready to get that Rookie of the Year award. That's what I'm saying, Scott. Be great, but be even better than great tonight. I saw that steak that you were eating on your Instagram last night. You were eating real good last night. Well, you know what? You need to eat real good on the court tonight. That's right. Get hungry. Get out there and get like you're a starving man who's been out in the desert for 2 days and you ain't ate nothing. I want you to get on the court and eat. Get on that court and eat, young man, because what's going to happen is if you have a really good game tonight and you score a good number and you look like the guy who helped the team lead to victory, the Raptors, the lowly Raptors in the eyes of the NBA, beating the Phoenix Suns, The number one team in the whole entire fucking league, Scotty, you will get Rookie of the Year award votes if you can do this, buddy. And listen, do it, string it together. This is the perfect week for you. You are starting to crest at the right time because you get out there and you do some of this stuff against Phoenix, Denver, the Lakers, the Clippers. That's a big spotlight. You are going to get seen by the rest of the league. So you are getting a spotlight this weekend, Scotty. So take it and run with it and show them that you need to be one of the top candidates to be thinking about for their Rookie of the Year votes. And you could do a lot tonight. Seriously, the spotlight's going to be there for you. Tom Duke's saying, let's go. What a momentum builder this game will be if we pull it off. Yes. We go on through the highs and the lows. We go through the very, 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 very low lows. We go through the very, very, very high highs, like that Milwaukee game after Detroit. This is what I'm talking about. Let's get some more good feelings. Let's get some more good synergy. Let's get some more good stuff going. Our captain is back. He's ready to steer the ship and keep us going in the right direction without this aimlessness of this more unmoored ship with nobody at the wheel, the way we played and after the All-Star break without Fred. Is now he's back. He can help steer us. And the other thing that's interesting, with no Chris Paul out there, Fred is kind of the guy who can probably set the tone of the game a little bit better than anybody else because he's that kind of point guard compared to, Chris Paul would out point guard him with the pace and controlling the game. But Chris Paul's not going to be there tonight. So that'll be very interesting to see how Fred can possibly control the game from his side of the ball because he is the prototypical veteran point guard out there that can be able to do it. So let's see. Yes, Tom's saying some waffles, please. We want waffles. We want pancakes. We want to pour that syrup on real thick and get the victory. Because when we have a lead, when we have a double-digit lead, that's what I'm doing at my house. I'm saying pour on that syrup thicker, Raptors. Get that lead up to 20. Get that lead up to 25. Just pour that syrup on real thick and get that victory. Oh, yeah. I love the little plate and the fork. All right. Sue saying, good morning, everyone. Will be a tough game, but we can do it. Let's get payback for the disrespect of our mascot. Yes. Oh, my gosh. Sue's bringing up this amazing story from this year when we had an empty arena and the Raptors mascot messed up Devin Booker at the free throw line and he told him to shoo him away. Oh, my gosh. Oh my gosh, leave the Raptor alone. He's cool. I hope maybe the Raptor could travel with the team. I would like the Raptor to be in the building tonight in Phoenix because he's really kind of a good guy to get into Devin Booker's head. Yeah, maybe he can go sit next to his girlfriend, the Kardashian or Jenner or whatever. I don't even know who he's dating. He's dating some Jenner Kardashian person. And, maybe he can go sit at the courtside with her and put his arm around her. Yeah, the Raptor mascot. He's got your girlfriend. Yeah. I think that might distract him real good. Callie's saying, I think you're right. Scotty needs to go off right from the gate. Listen, this is the showcase. This is the showtime for him. If he really wants this to be part of his legacy, winning the Rookie of the Year, this is the time to go get it, Scott. And you can do it. We believe in you. You're showing all the tools. You just need to go for it. Do it. Just do it, man. Nick Nurse is letting you have the reins, letting you go do this. If you want to get aggressive like you did in the last game and just go off, try it again tonight and see how well you do and see if you can actually get like 20 to 30 points and be a huge factor in our victory tonight. Because we beat the Suns tonight and they look, whoa, why did the Raptors beat the Suns? They're going to look at the box score and they're going to see what Scotty Barnes did. And he will get way more serious consideration for Rookie of the Year. That's what I'm saying. Kenrick, good morning. Always good to see your name here. You know what? Tom Duke's here. Let's do the real mascot matchup of the day. So last time we saw the Raptor, he was in the ditch, and the cowboy, there was a cowboy on a horse with spiky white hair, kind of balding, and he said, hi, I'll help you out. And he held his hand to help him out of the ditch. Well, the Raptor took his hand, and the cowboy was for real. He was an honest man. He was a good man. He was an older man, an older cowboy that had been around for a long time, seen a lot of victories, in his life, a lot of victories. But there was a mutual respect between the cowboy and the Raptor, and they became good friends. And actually, the Raptor went with the cowboy back to his ranch after he got out of the ditch with him, and he lived with him for a few years. He was living out on this ranch, learning the ranching life. from old Cowboy Pop. That was the guy's name. Yeah, the cowboy's name was Pop. And he's just showing, yeah, this is what we do out here in the range on Texas. And he's like steering steers and cattle and rustling Russells and, stuff like that. That's what he's doing out there because that's what ranch hands do and stuff like that. So he's just learning the ranch life. And he's out there for years and years. Like, this is almost like, we're flash forwarding through a lot of time. Sometimes the Raptors' real mascot matchup is a very short period of time, like a split second. But this story's going on for like a couple decades. The Raptor is learning from old Cowboy Pop and he's teaching him everything about being a good rancher and a good cowboy. And then one day they realize something's happening to their environment at the ranch. Yeah, things seem to be every year getting a little hotter. Whoa, a little bit hotter out on the ranch each summer, a little bit scorching. They start seeing dead cattle from dehydration, and they see less water coming down the river. They just see changes in the world, and it seems like the sun is getting bigger and bigger and hotter and hotter. And they're like, whoa, this is climate change. Yeah, climate change is affecting the Raptor mascot now. He's not just fighting people with nets and angry hornets and things like that. He's fighting climate change today. Yes, the sun is beating down on them. They're wiping the sweat off their brow. And the Cowboy Pop says to him, we need to do something about this, Raptor. The world is going to shit because of climate change, and it's so much hotter and different things like that. So they called their congressman. Yeah, they start getting on their ass, and they're like trying to fight that thing. So we'll have to see. This is the cliffhanger. Will the Cowboy Pop and the Raptor mascot be able to fight the sun and the heat coming down because of climate change? There is your tiebreaker. There's your cliffhanger for today. Will they be successful in winning this? All right, there's your real mascot matchup. It's really weird. I'm sorry, man. Yeah, Tom Duke saying, stay out of the ditch. For sure, stay out of the ditch, Raptor. Right now he's got ranch life with Cowboy Pop. So we'll see. Another cliffhanger. They're always going to be cliffhangers. I figured this just makes sense. I can't say that we beat the sun before we beat the sun. So I got to see if we beat the sun, and then we'll see how the story goes after that. But right now, ranch living with Cowboy Pop has been all right. I'm going to say that right now. All right, let me get back to reality and out of my weird, strange little mind and stuff like that. I want to talk about the game last night in Philadelphia. Yes. You guys want to talk about this, right? All right, this is messed up. I really wish Philly had won this game. I'm really kind of mad that Brooklyn came in there and routed them and kicked their ass. I knew that James Harden would look like shit. I knew that he shit the bed against his team the first time he played them. It's bullshit. Fucking James Harden, you're garbage, honestly. Why couldn't you do something right and back up Joel Embiid and beat these motherfuckers? Because you know what, right now, Philly deserved that payback. The fans in Philly did not deserve to see their team get blown out by this asshole smirking over on the bench and his team. I'm telling you right now. And Ben Simmons, who the fuck are you to sit there and smile and act so smug about what happened last night? Motherfucker, you ain't done shit all year, and honestly, you are a garbage person. I just seeing how you acted last night during that game with everything. You are such a garbage person to me. Because basically the whole situation is because of you, and you're getting what you want. And that's not right because you've done fucked up shit. And, this whole idea about you suing the Sixers because of their environment and all this kind of stuff and all this stuff, you sound so weak, bro. You sound so weak. And them having how they protected you yesterday, golly, any little shred of respect that I had was mainly because people were saying, oh, he's so great. He's rookie of the year. He's this. That was all hot air. And any little bit of respect that I had for Ben Simmons is gone. He's a garbage player. I hope he flames out in the league. He just needs to go away. I don't think he's good. And it just really annoyed me. I hated that Philadelphia lost last night. I did not want Brooklyn to win that game last night and have that happen. But it really was KD. KD's like, you know what? This is a situation with the trade and things like that. And the optics of it is we need to go out there and beat them and make it look like we're the better team. And that's what he did. It's all KD's will. And with Kyrie next to him, he can help him. And that was a big part in why that all happened. So Ben Simmons, wipe that goddamn smile off your face because you didn't do jack shit. And you honestly, anybody who's not a Nets fan hates you because you look like a piece of shit. Philly fan obviously hates you, but the rest of the league fans kind of hate you too. Because honestly, I think you're a piece of shit. And that's not even that I like the Philadelphia 76ers. It's just that the way I look at it as a fan of the Raptors from the outside, I'm seeing that right now. James Harden is James Harden. He's an idiot. But like you, I kind of actually hate. I don't hate James Harden. He is what he is. But looking at you and the way you acted last night, I hate you, Ben Simmons. And I hope the Raptors kick the shit out of you for the rest of your career, and your career's short and you leave and you are a bust. Yeah. And then at the end, everybody thinks that you were a failure and you were one of the worst people that anybody thought was going to be good. That's what I want to happen. Oh, yeah. Chris comes saying, love your opinion on Simmons. Totally agree. Pay Punk. Listen, this is the other thing that's fucked up about it. He was trying to use this situation last night in some way in his lawsuit to try and recoup some of the money he's lost for being fined. Now, I don't totally agree with teams fining guys and taking away their salary and stuff like that, because who does that in any other job and those kind of things? I guess they do in some sort of way, but still, the fact is, you chose not to play this year to strong arm your team to move you. And that means you don't earn the money because you didn't come in and do jack shit for them. So that's why they fined you. And that's why you did not get paid the money this year. And I understand that's a lot of money, over $20 million, and that you're fucking money grubbing and your lawyers are trying to recoup some of that in some bullshit litigation ways. That just makes me hate you even more because you look like a fucking idiot who wants something for nothing because you didn't do jack shit for them. They should not have to pay you. You did some fucking bullshit this year. So that's how I feel. Tom Duke was saying KD was almost scrapping with Embiid at one point. He's the ultimate competitor with all the tools polished. Yeah, you have to respect Kevin Durant. And this is part of the thing that I hate about what happened last night is Joel Embiid. I like Joel Embiid. Out of everybody who played in that game last night, I have the most respect for him in some ways. Kevin, a little bit second. But Joel is getting some good things happen for him this year, but now he sees this bullshit. He wanted to bring it home for Philadelphia last night, get that victory against that fucking idiot Simmons on the bench, and it didn't happen. And James didn't help him. So Joel, get ready to be disappointed by James not fucking helping you in the end, because that's what's going to happen. He may have helped you in these first couple games since he's been in there, and you feel real good about him, but he's going to disappear for you, just like he did last night more often than not. And I feel bad for Joel because he's getting these guys next to him that should really be helping him. He's a crazy, incredible talent, but these guys they're not the right guys to help him. I feel bad for Embiid. And part of it is just the ineptitude of the management of the Philadelphia 76ers. It's not even Embiid's fault. It's this that they don't fucking manage that team right. They've let good players go that they shouldn't have, and they've let shitty players come around. And that's been Simmons and Harden. These guys are shitty players. They're not good players. And, that's anyway, I just wanted to go off a little bit about that whole situation last night and how much it bugged me. Like, that dude shouldn't even showed up. You know what? You should have just stayed home. There's no reason for you to come and sit at the bench for that game in Philadelphia with all that. And the way that you and Steve Nash and everybody's talking about the booing and stuff like that is stupid. Even Goran chimed in about it. He's like, yes, you must go back to the city where they hate you and hear the boos. It's okay. As long as they don't throw things at you or say anything like violent, or like they're going to hurt you or something like that. That's what Goran said. He's like, I had to deal with it in Toronto or something. Fuck you, Goran. You got it good and you missed free throws and you lost by 1 when you came here. So that's what I'm saying. This is not what I hate. Philly fans. I don't like Philadelphia, but for me, I did not like seeing them not get some get back in that situation. Because between the two teams, Brooklyn and Philadelphia deserves more get back than Brooklyn does. And that's because of how Simmons did his year this year. That's purely just that. Oh my gosh. Anyway, I don't know why I'm talking about this so much. It's Atlantic Division news, so it's important to the Raptors. Sure. So, all right, let's see what else. You know what? I need y'all to help me. I am desperately trying to find Serge Ibaka's new season of How Hungry Are You? There's 2 episodes out now, Paul George and DeMar DeRozan. I cannot fucking for the life of me find the full clip anywhere. I see little 1-minute clips all over Serge's YouTube page and Sportsnet. I don't know where the fuck to look for it to find it. If anyone can help me find a link to the full Paul George interview, the full DeMar DeRozan, How Hungry Are You, that's come out recently. I will thank you for it. Apparently, in the How Hungry with DeMar this week, he says that he would have re-signed with Toronto instead of Chicago this summer if we had kept Kyle. You fucking believe that? That DeMar said that this week? That he said he would have re-signed with us. In the offseason this past year, if we had re-signed Kyle. Just think about that. If we'd gone in that direction, gone old school with the older guys. That's really weird to me. Because I never thought DeMar would come back here. But he literally said he would have. That's crazy. Oh my gosh. And like I said, anybody, if you watch this later, not live right now, and you hear me asking about the How Hungry thing, I don't know where the fuck to find it. It's driving me nuts. I'm not gonna lie. Because I looked all over the place yesterday, and I've been looking this morning before the live stream, and I can't find the Serge Ibaka show for this season. Just where to watch it online. So anyway, 905 played last night, Skyhawks in Atlanta, and Justin was hurt. He did not play. Isaac was there. He showed up and he played right away. Kevon Harris was amazing last night. He was actually tearing it up for the 905, did a really good job. He was getting nailed to the floor. There's one point where he hit the floor really hard and looked like he might be hurt. That was scary. But man, 905 win last night, a good win. And it was really Harris that did a lot of the big heavy lifting. David Johnson played in that game, which is weird because David Johnson's on our injury report, but he's playing in 905. I don't understand that. And then Isaac Bonga, once again, had a pretty decent game. But they started Alex Antetokounmpo in that game last night, which was pretty interesting to me. And yeah, I'm just glad that they continue to win. It's awesome. So 905, you get that G League championship. Hey, so we'll see. Let's see. What else should I talk about today for this preview? Let's see. I did the Real Mascot Matchup, keys to victory. Well, I can talk more a little bit about the keys to victory, the beating the Phoenix Suns tonight. I think that in some ways they may underestimate us just because of how we've been sliding recently. So we really need to show that we are the team that we are when we're at our premium best. And that's what we can do tonight. Like we looked like that at times against the Spurs the other night. So we need to replicate that kind of feeling and get good things going off our energy and our teamwork. I hate that we don't get enough assists. I hate that we don't move the ball around between guys enough on offense. Still to this day, I feel like the Raptors are doing too much isolation one-on-one on one half of the court to try and find shots. And a lot of it's Pascal and a lot of it's Fred. But I don't like that. I want you guys to play off each other because the shots will be coming easier and better. Like give and go, really, really good. Like Pascal off Scotty give and go stuff is beautiful. Pick and roll stuff with Cam Precious is beautiful. This is what I'm talking about. Let's get back to the basics of getting the ball off of each other so that we get assist totals. We get some really easy baskets and shots because that's the way you make them. We don't have anybody. We have a lot of really talented, athletic guys, but really we don't have anyone that is that badass like DeMar DeRozan or Kevin Durant that can just go and get whatever they want whenever they want. We still have, Pascal's close in some ways, but we still need, it's much better when they work off of each other. It just makes it so much more simpler. And it also, it gets people more involved in general. I just hate seeing, like we've said, Pascal comes up the court, he dribbles the ball at the top of the key for like 3 seconds and all the defense sets, and then he tries to push into the lane. I hate that. That is just so predictable at this point. Pascal, pass it around, do something more with it. Be more creative. That's what I'm asking for. All right, let's see what Raymond Jacobs saying. De heck, you'd think that those two who talk all the time would have talked about playing in Toronto 2022 together. Well, I mean, who knows what DeMar, when he says that, it's like, is that just, he's just saying that or something? Maybe, I don't know. The idea of it's interesting, but really, I think the writing was on the wall last year during the season when Kyle sold his house in Toronto, and that the way the last half of the Tampa season went with him sitting out so much, and you could get the feeling that Kyle was on his way out. So I don't think this was actually a reality. It may have been a scenario that they talked about, but it wasn't really actually very real, because part of it for it to work would be, do we want to do it? And it could be that Bobby and the Masai were like, Kyle's getting older, we want to go youth. We're going youth. We're developing from younger, and, we'll let Kyle walk. But if that's crazy, how would they do the money? And think about how that would have worked with guys like Pascal, Fred, and OG, and people like that. Like that, you would tie up a lot of money in two guys that are older. And I'm not totally against that, especially those two guys in particular. Well, Kyle a little bit, because in some ways, Kyle's getting paid a lot of money, and he's gonna probably only play half a season from now on in his career. He's not going to be like a guy who's out there all 82 games and doing stuff. He's going to sit half the season. That's just how he's doing things now in his older age as a point guard. So those are the kind of things you got to think about. It would have been really interesting. I'm surprised that DeMar said that this week. I really am. And you know what? That makes me feel better in some ways, because it makes me feel like, he doesn't have hate towards our team. He never really did. He was upset with Masai. He was really hurt by what happened. And that's natural to feel really hurt when you pour your life into a place for like 8 or 9 years and then you get sent away. That is natural. But I love that he would even have the idea in his head that he would possibly think about coming back to Toronto. So that's awesome in itself. But, it is what it is. It happens the way it happens. Jimmy Pope, good morning. Good to see a new name. We're here every morning between 8 a.m. and 11 a.m. at some point for a little while, doing a live stream, interacting live, talking about daily Raptors issues. So Jimmy's saying, hope I get to watch the game. Might be work and kind of sucks. Well, Jimmy, it depends on when you get off work. Remember, this is a West Coast trip. So all these games are going to be starting around 10, 10:30, stuff like that. So if you can get out early, or hopefully, I don't know when your schedule is or where you're working and stuff like that, you might get out in time to see a good chunk of the game, especially if you get out around 10 o'clock at work. You might get to see most of the game. So I'm hoping that for you, Jimmy. So, we want all the Raptor fans to be watching and cheering on their team, even if they're at home. It's had to been this way this season with nobody in the arena. We've all had to cheer from home. Let's cheer them on from over here in Phoenix tonight. Phoenix is, oh man, I'm licking my chops, honestly, because we're in a position as a team right now where we have nothing to lose, because they don't expect us to beat Phoenix tonight. They don't expect us to look good. So why don't we go out there and look good and make them think, oh, wow, these guys are actually really, like, they're doing this to Phoenix right now. So when you have nothing to lose, there's some real power in that for sure. Jimmy's saying, yeah, hopefully it could be a really good game. We match up really well with Phoenix for some reason. Like, we are one of the teams in the league that can actually match up pretty well with them. It's this weird, combinations of players. When they match up and line up against combinations of players, there's different outcomes. Detroit has a better physical factor than us, and that beats us to a degree. That's part of the reason why we beat them. Well, in the same token, we may have more of a physical factor than Phoenix in some ways, and that is how we can beat them, is if we play really physical, really scrappy, and just irritate the fuck out of them in all kinds of different ways you can on a basketball court. And if we do this tonight, we could have a good chance. Like I said, we are this weird team that will come out and we'll lose to Detroit and Orlando 2 nights in a row, and then we'll turn around and we'll beat the best team in the Eastern Conference, or we'll turn around and beat a really top team in the West. And that's what I'm saying. Let's overachieve. Let's make some noise. Let's get a little bit of spotlight from the NBA and the NBA media and the sports media, because we just did some shit on the West Coast that we're not supposed to be fucking doing. Because nobody's like, Toronto Raptors aren't supposed to be doing this. They're supposed to not even be in the playoffs. What the fuck is going on here? That's what I want tonight. And we can do this. There's no reason why we can't do this. It's like these guys have eye of the tiger, and they got to come out there and be like, we're badasses, and we can do whatever the fuck we want. And that's Fred leading that team. He's going to bring them in there, and hopefully they can. Pascal has big games against Phoenix. He had that game winner a couple years ago. Remember, where he took the ball on the dribble from the top of the key and went to the basket and laid it in at the last second to win the game by just a couple of points. That's that kind of stuff I'm talking about. So maybe Pascal could have a super good, efficient game tonight where he's hitting most of his shots and he's just dominant as a scorer. That would really help. But if it isn't going to be him, then hopefully it'll be something like Gary Trent waking up and being really, really good tonight again, getting totally, completely out of his offensive slide recently, because he's showing signs of it. Maybe he busts out tonight and he's just like badass Gary, where he's hitting like 9 of 15 shots from the field with like 8 3-pointers, something like that. Things like that. That's what we want to see. And then Fred being back again, he feels good, y'all. I'm going to tell you right now, Fred is not half hurt anymore. He is full and ready to go, and he feels good. And that is always a good weapon for us, because when Fred feels good, he's not banged up. He's going to try and do anything he can to win the game. And listen, like I said, with Chris Paul not out there with him, he can direct the game to a degree himself, because he won't have that counter general on the other side trying to do the same thing versus. So I really like that. And then obviously the things I just talked about with Scotty earlier. Scotty, you want that brass ring, you want that Rookie of the Year award, you go get it. But you have to earn it, and the way you earn it is you have a big appetite, you're ready to eat. And we just want to see you eat, man. Raptor fans are dying to see you be a badass and take over this game and win it, because Cade Cunningham's doing that kind of shit for Detroit. Evan Mobley's doing little things here and there for Cleveland, and those are your two biggest competitors for that award. So you need to outshine them, and if you get some big victories on the West Coast against teams that we had no business beating, you will get some shine from that. I won't lie. I will not lie about that. All right, y'all. I don't think there's a whole lot more for me to talk about today. I appreciate everybody being here with me for this preview today for Toronto Raptors at the Phoenix Suns tonight. I'm not even sure what time it is, 9:30 p.m. Eastern time, or 10 or 10:30, somewhere around that time. This is the thing. Don't want to get ahead of ourselves, but we're going to play Phoenix tonight, and then we got to go to Denver and play in the Mile High City tomorrow. So tomorrow will be a preview and a reaction. Saturday morning, and we'll probably be here for about an hour or two talking about everything. So please tune in tomorrow morning, sometime between 8 and 11. I'll show up with the live stream, and we'll react to the game tonight. Hopefully we'll be talking about a great victory and how Scotty is really going to be more and more considered as a Rookie of the Year. Oh, yeah. All right. Let's go, Raptors. Let's beat the Suns. We match up well with them. I feel real good. We have a little bit of good momentum from the San Antonio game. Let's overachieve. Let's do something that nobody else thinks that we can do. Let's be that team once again that overachieves and wins a game they had no business winning. All right. Let's go, Raptors. Please like, comment, subscribe, share. If you like anything I said today, hit that red subscribe button. I'm trying to get to 1,000 so I can unlock all the YouTube goodies. Oh, yeah. Woo! Woo!